Okay, today we are going to make undie onesies. These are great for bigger kids that you need to make onesies for. They are not too terribly expensive and they're not really too hard to make. You're gonna go out and buy some undershirts, whatever style you like, and then underpants. My daughter wears a size 6, so I have an appropriately sized undershirt. However, she does wear diapers, so I got the underpants just a little bit bigger to fit over the diaper. She wears a 6, I got an 8. I think it's a little bit too big. So you'll probably be safe with just one size up instead of 2. But the first step that you're going to do with this is you are going to take your undershirt, you're going to take the bottom edge of it here, and you are going to stretch and sew the underpants to the shirt. Now, when the elastic is not stretched, it does not quite reach the edge on either side, so you're going to have to stretch them as you sew. What I like to do is take a couple straight pins and pin just the sides to the underpants, and that'll keep you in line. You won't end up with the underpants sideways on your shirt, but you will still have to stretch it as you sew so it doesn't end up all bunched with the shirt on one side. So I'm going to go ahead and start doing that. I have pinned the sides of my undies to the undershirt. I put the undies over the undershirt. It doesn't really matter if you want to do the undershirt over the underpants, it's fine. I try and aim for this double layer of fabric here, just because with, you know, any pulling, twisting, things like that, it's just a little bit thicker than the rest of the shirt, so it's going to hold up a little better. So when you are going to put this in your machine, it's a little awkward. I start with a leg hole and slide it under here. Now, because of the elastic that I mentioned, you are going to want to start right after where you had pinned it on the side, and then if you find your other pin over here on the other side and just kind of give that a pull, make sure that you got your shirt wrapped around the other way. So as I'm lining up the undies and the undershirt, I'm going to pull the elastic on the underpants. That way it does not bunch up. So I am just going to follow this elastic thread seam area that is on the underpants already. So just go ahead and start sewing and make sure you hold that elastic nice and taut. And then once you get down, you know, you can move your hand and to the next section and then just pull that and keep going. So I am going to go ahead and do that now, and I will be right back. Okay, we have made it all the way around the undershirt, and we have this here, and this is what it looks like on the inside. We have the underpants sewn to the shirt. So now that that's done, you are going to take the crotch area of your underpants, and this really, there's no right or wrong way to do it. Just pick a spot and cut it in half. Okay, and then you have your opening here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold each end over just a little tiny bit, and I'm going to sew along this on both the back and the front. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. Now I have those sewn. They are not super pretty, but that's okay because I'm going to cover them up and I don't care. So our next step here is going to be reinforcing this area to put the snaps on. Now the thing about this fabric is it's got a little bit of stretch to it. So when you put the snaps on here, the tugging and the pulling and things of that nature, when you're taking it off and putting it on, it's going to cause some strain, and this is just going to help reinforce the fabric so that area where you put the snaps in is less likely to rip. Not guaranteed. I'm sure there is proper fabric like interfacing or something that you can go out and get and do this with, but I like to do things cheaply and whenever possible use stuff that I already have. It's not a stretchy fabric, it's not super thick either, but I mean, you don't need something terribly thick. We're just giving it a little bit of extra oomph, I guess you could say. So I have this square cut out that is just slightly bigger than the edges of the underpants here. So what I'm going to do is fold just a little teeny tiny bit of one edge, and then I'm going to line that up right here with the edge of the underpants, and then I'm going to go ahead and sew these two fabrics together. Now when I get to my corner here when I'm sewing, I am just going to fold this end over here and tuck it, and then make my turn and keep sewing down this. When I get to this corner, I'm going to fold it under and keep sewing, and so on and so forth until you get all the way around to where you started. So just make sure that you tuck your edges in here before you start sewing down, because you don't want to have any raw edges in there. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I just want to show you this real quick. I've gotten to my first corner here, and you can see my fold right under here, and it is just a little bit wider than the edge of my underpant fabric here. So we are going to fold this under to make a nice corner. Try and get it to, line up with the edge of your underpants there, and then go ahead and continue sewing just right to the edge. Alright, when you get right there to the edge and you're ready to turn, go ahead and put your needle down into the fabric, lift up on your presser foot, turn, and then you can kind of tuck the rest of that fabric down under there. Put your presser foot back down and continue on until you get to the next corner up here, and then you can do that again. Okay, I am done, and you see it doesn't quite make it all the way to the edge over here. It's a little better on this side, but I don't care. I'm not making it to look pretty. Functional is the key word. If you want to try and get that a little better, what I would suggest is before you even maybe cut these two pieces apart, try and, or maybe after, I don't know, try and make a template out of it. Lay it down on a piece of paper and you can trace around it and make it just a little bit wider than the actual fabric, because you gotta have your seam to fold over. But like I said, I don't really care that it's not pretty. So now it doesn't really have that stretch anymore that it used to. So that is the one side. And we have our other side here that we haven't done yet. So I am going to take another piece of fabric and do the exact same thing on the other side. Alrighty. Now we got both sides finished. And we are going to do the snaps. Alright, the last thing we have to do is put our snaps on. If you have never used these metal snaps before, check out the link in the bottom of this video and it will take you to another video that will explain how to do these snaps. I will also leave a link to that video in the comment section. But I have already done 2 snaps on this particular onesie, so snaps together real nice. The only thing I want to make mention of is make sure that you put them on the correct sides so your fabric does not end up going together like this. You want it to fold over and go under there real nice. So I am going to go ahead and do that right now. I am going to put these other snaps on here. So first I have my pointy snap. I'm gonna stick that on there. There's that one. And then I have the other one right here. And that's it. It's as easy as that. So we have 2 on the top and 2 on the bottom. And they snap together nicely. So that's it. I hope that you have enjoyed the video, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask.